Hi everybody, I want to talk to you about something, okay? First of all, I want to say that things don't really change as much as they seem. The world around you may seem to change. You may think that you're living in different times, different eras and stuff, but really, it doesn't change as much as that. It's mostly the human mind, or the person's mind, I should say, because the human mind, the human brain, the human body, human everything you have here in the human body that you have in your body there is still of nature. But what happens is people kind of get the wrong imagery in their mind based on what they see going on around them. That is the behaviours of other people and the works of others, meaning in society. So the trends, the style, the fashions, the inventions, etc. And yeah, whereas we do have some progress, you could say, which is all a perception, really, a perceived set of processes and progression in things. The truth is that not everything is a progression. Not everything is changing as much as you may think. For example, when you were younger, when you was a young person, let's say growing up in school, maybe you're an adult like I am now. I'm 43. I'm nearly 44 actually. And when you look back on your years and you say, like when you were younger, you had a bigger imagination, you may say other things too, like life was easier back then. Things were more easier and you were more optimistic and hopeful for the future. This kind of terminology this kind of a language doesn't even come into my mouth, into my vocabulary, into my mind, even. Like, it wasn't easy for every one of us growing up. It wasn't always happy go lucky, fun times, easy going. Easy in some senses, easy in some senses when we're at home and stuff, with family. But what I'm trying to say is, you look around you and you think the world's changing and you're trying to fit in constantly. You become more complicated. I don't. I don't become dumber. I honestly do feel that we all become should be more intelligent as we grow older, and we get more experience about true living. See, experience of life doesn't just mean walking around in this world and whatever's presented to you in this season or the next, or this year or the next, this decade or the next is what is. The same as reading a book or being living in a certain culture. Learning doesn't mean following. You know, they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, but they also say all roads lead to Rome. Now, what is the destination and what is the road? What is the point? You know, you have to be fluid and understanding of all people around you in terms of we are all human beings. We shouldn't be losing ourselves to follow anything, because in that case, if we lose ourselves, we can't go anywhere. Do you like the way I said that? Oh God! Now, trying to make it sound nice, But the point is, it's a true fact. Okay. Now, so everywhere you go, you can't lose yourself. You need to be able to be fluid in your mind. You need to be able to think naturally. Adapt, yeah, but don't lose yourself, and respect all life. Respect all the possibilities of truth. Accept and be ready to roll with the punches. Yes. Yeah, but you never saw that one coming. Don't chop my nose off, Mister Fucking Barber. Oh, Barbie's coming. I fucking give Ken the snip. Oh, is it a crocodile fish? Hello, hello. Yeah, fucking. Oh, and it's not the fucking spoon that bends. It's not you. It's not the spoon that bends. It's yourself. Stupid. Fuck. Okay, all the ridiculous stuff aside, right? We're not calling you a bender, and we're not calling you a character from Futurama. Listen, I want to basically say, right, the point is, you've got to be honest and have a laugh. It's okay to have a laugh. It's okay to have some fun sometimes. Life is not only suffering. Lighten up, man. Lighten up. Have you ever seen a monk smile? But listen, here's what I want to say to you. Yeah? Listen to this. Clickety clack. Don't come back. Otherwise, a werewolf might break your back. My shoulders click. All's good. Check out my glasses, you mother. It's not fucking. Listen, it's okay. Someone told me to want to say so. Listen, right? Keeping it looking up at the UFOs, tripping over the manhole. But what I want to basically say to you is, okay, this. There are computer games, like back in the day, computer games, okay, and board games, but there are computer games, movies, and of course music, art styles, different tools we may have used, and all kinds of stuff, gadgets, all kinds of things we may have used back in the day, technology, software, hardware. But the thing is, okay, what is bad, really? If you enjoy doing a certain activity or using certain things to entertain yourself, like I hear people complaining about old games looking like they're not up to scratch with the modern day, like games graphics and and you can't go back to them because they're so worse in gameplay or whatever. And I'm thinking, damn, what is wrong with people? Like some of those games are still really good. What is time really? If you were to experience those things for the first time, you would enjoy them. Let's imagine you'd never seen new modern computer games or movies, and if you went and you were to watch an old movie or play an old game or an old song that you may listen to, or if you saw, a piece of artwork, an old piece of artwork, why would you necessarily have to think that that was bad? You may probably really love it because it would be new to you. It's only bad because you can compare it to new stuff. I remember when the older consoles were coming out, that the PlayStation 1, I remember when it was released, it was like unbelievable, right? When the N64, the Nintendo 64 came out, it was unbelievable. I remember it. It was a breakthrough, the what's the word? It was amazing. The controls, you know, and everything, the game and the look of it was just incredible. Compared to new stuff, I understand how people compare things, but it's just wrong, I think. And I'm not really talking about that only. That I'm not just trying to say games. I'm not just talking about games and entertainment. I'm talking about the human mind in general. I think that is why people have a lot of problems in life. They can't. They're not fresh enough. They're not like they're always looking for something else. They're always miserable. A lot of people are never satisfied with anything. They're always looking. They're always comparing and looking for problems in things. I can't understand where that comes from. Like, see the good in all things. See what things are. For what they are. Don't always have to compare. Or when people say, "Is this game relevant? Is this game still relevant and worth playing in 2026 or whatever year?" Whatever year it is, you're looking back, like even just a few years ago, and saying, "Oh, it's old." I don't care if it's 20 years old. If a thing's entertaining, you can find entertainment in it. There may be good stories, good artwork, good control, good fun you can have. But because people have forgotten to really see things and have fun, and there's no entertainment, there's no person inside to be entertained almost because they're just trying to be part of the next modern trend and what's out there. Oh, you're still playing that? Oh, that movie's old, man. They're full of this crap. Do you like that song? Oh, that's old, man. That's yesterday's news, yesteryear's news. Like, it's like I've seen these comedy videos where they're like bringing out new gadgets and phones and stuff and gadgets, and it's like before it even comes off the conveyor belt in the factory machine, before they even release it, like, oh, that's trash now. They've got to make a new one. Like, why bother making anything? I think the problem is because people get sick of themselves. They're absolutely bored of everything. But if you took a moment to, refresh your mind, this coffee's nice, man. But if you took a moment to just be aware and really, you can't tell someone to have the vision, but if you can look into things and see things a bit more better, you might start to value things. There are people that can't even walk on a beach and enjoy it for like, they'll walk along, they'll take a photo, maybe walk, and then forget that photo. They'll walk 1 or 2 steps on the beach, looking out to the sea, looking out on the sand and looking at the sea, and then they'll look away back at their phone, scrolling, because they cannot focus on one thing for a moment. And they cannot focus on what's being said if someone's speaking. They just want to scroll on because this person, they just cannot follow. It's an attention problem. One who has attention, I believe, can see more what's going on, more beauty in the world, feel better about themselves. And back in the day, people were more creative and better storytellers, I feel. Nowadays, in this scroll and rush and speed run gameplay and things like this, and people that can't even be bothered to listen to someone speak. You see it, like you look back on YouTube and you see videos of people that have had good, meaningful conversations and debates that weren't just a rush to knock the other person out. But people say that, wow, people look much more able to communicate back in the day, and that's true because nowadays a lot of people, they just don't know how to communicate. Calm down and be observant.